Hello and good evening, my divine masculine, my divine feminine. Guys, welcome to another update as I'm doing for you during this portion in time. I've been called to do this. Okay. Now, I have not taken a time frame, but the reason being because I'm constantly updating these energies. I'm not taking a time frame now, but give and take, you know what I mean, 10 to 12 days, right? Now, within this span in time, we are going to check where the divine masculine's energies are or will be. Okay. Now, this time I've broken up the three parts. I've taken the mind, the heart, and the environment, or the 3D. All right. Now, having said this, guys, before I jump into the reading for you, let me tell you one thing. What I'm getting out of these cards in here um, is he had been waiting for you, Divine Feminine, to make that move towards him. Okay? That communication part of the story, Um, I'm getting that feeling more so with these cards out here that for a certain period in time prior to this reading, is he had been waiting for you, Divine Feminine, to make the first move. But I think what's happening now is that somewhere he has realized that you probably will not go to that extent of doing and saying things that you have done before. Like, I mean, communication is there, but you know what I mean? Like, letting him know that you're interested, letting him know that you want this and you want that with him, right? In this twin flame connection, what you have previously been doing, perhaps, is what he has been used to for a long time, right? That at one point in time, your patience will come to an end and you will kind of jump into that same story again, right? Excuse me. But what I'm also getting at this point, guys, that his realization in this waiting period has come to a place of his own understanding that it's perhaps not going to happen in the way that he probably had tried to envision about you taking that first step forward towards him or towards this connection again, to revive this connection in the way that you perhaps have done before, like I said, right? So, with this, the wisdom oracle, what I'm getting right now, guys, having said this, the wisdom oracle is that of the yin energy for the divine masculine, which is talking about you, which is talking about the feminine principle of receptivity. You know, um, now this is his energy, but this is also your energy too, because it's you, right? So you two are waiting for the time with calculated receptivity as you're gracefully awaiting what is coming to you and you're ready to accept when it appears, right? But for him, it also means gathering information at this moment, taking cues as you are probably doing, and the art of conscious allowing, right? So if you are in this energy, guys, he is also in this energy, is also what I'm getting, right? It talks about allowing sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how it will affect you. Okay, but remember, with this card, it tells you to remember to make space for miracles to appear as well. So be the shaped, not the shaper, and you will see how quickly your dreams will manifest. So this is talking about your energy that you have been doing and having for a long time. And he's coming to the point of this conscious allowing to happen as well as within him. It's kind of a mirror image I'm getting with this man in here right now, with this wisdom oracle, where he is consciously allowing the major arcana, the lovers. This energy comes up, and this is the beautiful energy of two people coming back together. Consciously allowing this energy to come back into him that he knows that you have been having with you for a long time, Divine Feminine, right? But which is where his problem was earlier, because he hadn't been consciously allowing this energy to come back into his zone. Okay, which is where he is not only missing you guys, but he is realizing the sensitivity with which you have allowed this connection to grow. And you have manifested this, Divine Feminine. Not only have you manifested this connection, you have allowed your conscious, to permit this energy between you and him to flow in the right direction. And this is that mirroring effect that he is getting from you, Divine Feminine, at this point that he's realizing that consciously he had been blocking this flow of energy. Reasons can be anything. Like, we are not talking about reasons here. We're talking about the flow and the vibration of this beautiful connection that he had been somewhere, had been distorted, blocked, not completed, right? Which is where he's coming to a point of understanding in the Divine Masculine's story that he has to consciously allow this beautiful lover's energy to come, which means communication, which means a receptivity, which means giving and taking, giving more generously, right? Anything that involves the two of you in the story has to be consciously allowed and not blocked or stopped for any rhyme or reason. Is that story that he is getting into his wisdom at this point in time, guys. The bottom of the wisdom deck is card number 5 and says, no peace like home. Okay, now with this card of 5, as you know, I always treat the card of 5 as a learning lesson under any shape and form, because this is a learning lesson from where we grow. And this wisdom at the bottom of the deck says authenticity. Coming home to oneself. This lover's energy for him today is allowing the conscious energy to flow between the two of you, which is also for him like coming back home, feeling at home, arriving at a place where he knows he just fits in, and being comfortable in his own skin there, where he doesn't have to hide anything between the two of you. You know what I mean? Like, there should not be any secrets, any hidden stuff, anything that he has been hiding from other people. He doesn't want to hide it from you anymore. It should be very open, where he should be in his own skin with you, and you should be in your own skin with him. Okay, where the conscious allowing of these two people's energy should come in touch with each other, should flow in that process, that smooth flowing process where both of you guys are comfortable being who you are and not wearing a mask or pretending to be a different person or pretending to be in a different skin. That's not who you two are. You two should be open with each other. Excuse me. You two should be absolutely, naked truth, as I call it, right? Naked truth. Between the two of you, there should not be any facade, any hidden stuff, any lies, any betrayal, or any deceit. here. Both of you should be able to talk to each other in the way that you would talk to yourself. You know what I mean? Where there is nothing in hiding at all, basically. So that is the wisdom that is taking place with this Yin energy for him, when he knows that you had allowed this to happen before, and he had not allowed it to happen. He had been blocking this energy because he was not yet ready to be comfortable with you in the way that you were probably comfortable with him, right? So he was hiding a lot of things from you. He was not allowing that conscious flow of energy. He was not allowing that receptivity of the feminine stuff in you to allow him to move towards this beautiful lover's energy, to becoming harmonious, to becoming balanced, and to bringing back the balance and harmony in this energy, in this beautiful connection, right? So a lot of things is his realization is that this is where his comfort zone is when he is with you, or when he wants to be the person that he really is, without wearing a mask, without hiding his own feelings about anything in the world, not just about this relationship or you and him, anything from his childhood, anything that he wants to share with you, anything that you want to share with him, coming out with the truth and being comfortable in your own skin to know that you are not deceiving anybody. You're not lying to anybody. You are who you are. And this is an energy that you had portrayed where he had failed to understand your authenticity at one point. And this is where he's coming back into at this moment. All right. The bottom of the deck for the major arcana is the Emperor and the Temperance card. Okay. Now, the reason I've taken this too, it's because what I'm getting, guys, is that he had allowed, see, again, being the Emperor, there had been a part of good and bad in him. Okay, when he had been the Emperor, or he had been the divine masculine's shape and form that he had taken. But with the Emperor, the problem is, guys, that compassion, forgiveness, sensitivity, emotions is very, very rare. Okay? And that is why he's realized that he had been holding himself in this energy, which is not a bad energy. The Emperor is a very, very good energy, the major arcana. But his emotions had left the two cups empty because he hadn't been able to bring that emotional quality and value in this relationship with the Strength card, which is talking about compassion, which is talking about kindness, which is talking about forgiveness. And there is the Tower. There is the Tower, which is his realization, his spiritual epiphany that this entire story needs to be changed. Transformation. This is where he's walking out of because he realized that he hadn't done the right thing. See, again, like I said, the Emperor is a stern energy, right? It's a stern energy. It's a good energy of the divine masculine. We all take it like that. But where compassion is concerned, where forgiveness is concerned, where sympathy is concerned, where that togetherness is concerned, it should be free flowing. It should have compassion. It should have forgiveness. It should have kindness in a relationship that allows it to move freely as you get back your own skin, into your own skin, to feel that energy within you, that how comfortable you are not holding back any emotions, not holding back anything in yourself, but that you can share yourself with somebody else who understands you perfectly in the way that you understand the other person. Right? Excuse me. So, this is the point of his understanding. His pride and his ego. The Emperor is also very egotistical person, remember, right? So the pride and ego hadn't allowed him to hear you properly, or be compassionate and forgiving in this relationship, which is where the Tower comes in to change this entire format with this man in here. Okay, so this is the whole story that is going on with this divine masculine here. So now he knows that to be the emperor, it's good. But to be the emperor, he also needs to have that sensitivity and authenticity with regards to this free flowing energy in him, as well as he has seen you doing it too, divine feminine. So if he kind of is stern and very disciplined and very structured and is not wanting to move or divert himself, he will not be able to come into this free flowing energy. So there will be always that gap between the two of you, because you will not be able to meet him and he'll not be able to meet you. So he has to come to a point in the middle somewhere where his energy has to be balanced out, even if he is the emperor. But his energy has to be balanced out with this yin energy so that he can comfortably fit you and you fit him in this relationship in the right way. Okay. Now, having said this, guys, let's look at his mind. So we have got, excuse me, we have got the Fool card, or the Dreamer, and the Hermit in the mind. So what I'm getting, guys, is that he's spending a lot, he's in the Hermit energy in the mind, okay, where he is doing a lot of soul searching. He's doing a lot of meditation. He's in solitude. His mind is very peaceful, right? Where there is also a lot of self-discovery towards a new start. Because see, he knows that he has to take that leap of faith. When he has to push his fears aside. Trusting himself for this new start, but for which he will have to reorganize himself too. Right? He will have to analyze the whole situation. He will have to reorganize the whole situation, and that's when he can take the leap of faith. So in his mind, that is exactly what he's doing, which is clarified with the free will card, which is talking about him coming to the position or to the point of giving up on any kind of pride and ego and allowing his mind to accept the inevitable connection of this twin flame journey. That's his free will, that he's not stopping it anymore in his mind. He's ready. He's getting ready. He's ready. For some, it's even, I would like to say he's ready. Not getting ready. Because this is where his free will is coming into his position here, where he is like, I can't hold on to this connection. I have to allow this to happen and allow the energy and attract back that same quality of energy that I have seen the divine feminine do before. But there should not be any stopgap. There should not be any halt. So this free will in the mind is very important, which is what is showing up on the surface. Now, in the heart energy, guys, he's the King of Wands. So I would like to say, in the heart, he not only wants to surprise you, but he could be a little bit dramatic too, with regards to his communication, of his vision. Because in the heart he's becoming stronger. He's taking that leadership role. He is very, very inspiring, very motivational to step into the spotlight now to show his entrepreneurship of what he can do. Right? But he could also, like I said, he could be a little bit theatrical, but he is very ambitious in the heart. Now, this is clarified with this 4 card. Commitment, pause. He is reflected on this commitment here, guys, of this twin flame in the heart. He has taken a moment. He has been suspended in his heart because he was studying this commitment of this journey, this commitment with you, this twin flame connection. So he has taken his moment, barrier, and purge to open up this barrier for communication, where he wants to tell you everything now. He wants to give you the entire story. Okay, that's where he could be a little bit dramatic too. You know what I mean? From the heart, he's trying to convince you. He wants to be very motivational. He wants to sound very energetic, just like a leader would be, right? To take on that challenge of convincing you back into this commitment, because he has reflected what had been stopping him was his free will. So in the heart, guys, he wants this commitment very, very quickly. And that's where he is going to open up the barrier and purge out the entire story to you. That's coming. That's coming. Okay. Now, what's happening in the 3D, guys? Let's look at the 3D energy is the Six of Swords. It talks about the end of challenging times in this journey in the 3D, where things are once again going to look up for you. It's a welcome relief for both you, divine masculine and divine feminine. You know, where both of you will be at peace with one another. There will be an end to all the depression and illness in this relationship that has been going on, where both of you, or maybe one of you, could take a decision to travel or relocate yourself in some other place is also a possibility. Now, with this card, it's clarified first, the answer is no and patience, right? So there is something that he's going to abandon. He doesn't want it anymore. He has told that to himself, the answer is no. But it needs a little bit of patience on his part to abandon the whole stuff and move to a different place with you, or, end this challenging times that's been going on. So he is kind of being a little bit patient, but at the same time, his decision is not to go back into the garbage anymore, or whatever he had been holding. Okay, so I said, okay, what about the answer is no and patience? I wanted to find out a little bit more. The answer is fear and spring. So whatever had been holding him back, divine feminine, was the fear. Which is what he is abandoning. He's leaving it behind, because whatever he had been doing for a long time was because he had not been able to permit himself for the free will. It was out of fear. He was not sure if he could trust you, if he could trust this relationship, if he could even trust himself, right? So there was a lot of fear that is now, with patience, guys, is blossoming back into his own self, spring. And we are in the time period, we are moving towards a spring, right? So a lot of flowers are going to bloom for you guys in the 3D. Get ready for it, divine feminine and divine masculine. Both of y'all will see the end of a long term of illness and depression and heartache and pain and loss and suffering that had been going on in this relationship for the longest time. The bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Three of Swords and Strength, right? Okay, there you go. He has learned what he needs to do now. Because the Three of Swords with the Three of Cups, which is a reconciliation with you, which is a happiness with you, has gone through a major suffering. But from the Three of Cups, he has come to be more assertive with his personal power. He is getting to understand, because from the Three of Swords, he has grown. He's grown. And what has he grown into? He's growing into the King of Pentacles, which is bringing back his compassionate self, which is bringing back his charismatic, compassionate, accomplished, grounded self, which is also bringing back his financial security and prosperity that is taking him towards a great success, right? Where he will not only find his Midas touch, but he will find somebody very supportive, just like you, Divine Feminine, to be a part of his life. But he is definitely a good person to work for, Divine Feminine, so you can trust him no matter what he has done before. I can assure you he's not going to repeat that mistake again. Okay. Now, the bottom of the deck here, I have to show you this. Oops, hold on. Offer, Divine Masculine, Material World, Communication. And here we are. Action towards balancing the scales. That is exactly what he is doing right now, Divine Feminine. Okay, and over here, he is coming to the point of communication. Could be about material, financial part of the story that can happen with you. But again, there is an offer of love. Okay, it also could be that he is giving up the material part of the story because he has realized that emotions are more important to him than money now. It also could be that, which is probably what he's going to talk to you about. Okay, because remember, okay, this is also what I'm getting, guys. I don't know if I have said this before, that somewhere this man, the Divine Masculine, was financially very focused. Okay, and I had received that message many a times. Maybe I have said that, I have not said that, I don't remember. But he had been very money conscious. To him, emotion was a part of the story, but not really in the way that you guys, Divine Feminine, had been with him. Not that money was not important to you. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is that you knew how to balance both the spiritual and the material part of the story, which in his case, he couldn't balance, right? He couldn't balance. And that is the reason his spiritual part of the story was left completely in a disastrous shape while he ran after the financial part of the story. So today he's coming to the point of understanding that's not going to work for his own self either. Today emotions, because he's gone through the learning lesson, guys. Today emotion is more about balancing the scales of both the material part and the spiritual part. Okay, emotions are important, material part is important too, but how he balances the two together is the biggest part of the story in here, where his focus is more on emotions than the material part of the story here right now, because he has learned to value, or he's learning to value your emotions for this connection here. Don't forget, this is where he is learning to value what you have done for this connection, guys. Okay, so now let's get into the reading and see what his mind energy is. But in his mind, whatever he had been holding back, like I said, it could be finances for him at one point where he was not able to move because he thought that if he moves, he'll have to give up on whatever financial part of the story he has, right? And he wasn't feeling secure or happy about that, because to him, emotions came after finances for him at a certain point, which is exactly the opposite of what's happening now. Which is exactly the opposite part of the story, just the flip side of it. When emotions is coming up on the surface and finances is there, but not on the surface. Okay, so it's a balance of both material and spiritual harvest right now for him. Okay, Let's look at the mind energy here. So he's gone through a lot of, or he's going through a lot of changes, guys. Lot of changes. Wow. But good changes, right? Good changes. Nothing to be critical about at this point with this energy here. The mind story is with the free will, because see again, like I said, the free will of the mind is very important, because unless you give yourself the permission and tell yourself that you are able to move, you cannot move, because you're always in fear and always in doubt. Lack of trust, lack of faith, lack of belief in yourself, right? And mind is a very important part of the story, because it's the mind that sets your heart and 3D into action. So that is why the mind has to be very, very promising with regards to his understanding, which is what is happening now for him, Divine Feminine. Which is what is happening for him now. Okay, let's look at the heart energy. I'm going to use the same deck because it gives us a more in-depth analysis of his story, right? So let's look at the heart energy here. In the heart, he has reflected about this journey, guys. That the commitment he had been barring, there was a barrier to his understanding, to his commitment with you, because he had been hiding a lot of things under covers. In the heart, he has not been open with you, right? That is where things are changing. And now he wants to talk about everything and anything with you from his heart. Let's look at the heart energy here. Like I said, there should not be any hidden stuff between the two of you. Is his understanding for this journey in here, guys. Total understanding. So the heart is talking to him now, because he knows that only person who makes him feel comfortable is you, Divine Feminine, and you feel comfortable with him, right? Anything on this planet Earth is something that you can say. He won't mind, you won't mind, and you all both are not only just good friends, you both are twins. You all have a past life relationship. You all have traveled many lifetimes together with one another, right? So therefore, your karma is a part of your story here with each other. You cannot avoid that. Okay, you cannot avoid that. Let's look at the 3D energy here. But for a long time, like I said, out of fear, out of guilt, out of pain, out of sorrow, it could be anything for anybody. He had been avoiding this. I mean, not avoiding this connection, but he had been not giving himself the permission to go into this connection. Let's look at the 3D energy here. Because somewhere, like I said, he was not sure of who he is, of what he is looking for, or whether he can completely trust your intentions, or like I said, whether he can completely trust his own self. Right? So that is the reason that he was very perturbed, because, and see again, if he has a karmic partner, there are external factors, social factors, everything that has to be taken into account by this man, right? So it could be anything, and even the money part of this story, maybe, finances are tied up. or he has got kids, right? So, where the money part of the story at one point was also his pride and ego, that he's probably has a lot of money with him and that he doesn't have to worry about emotions. It also could be that, right? So anything and everything that was stopping this man from moving forward was all because of his, not only his strength part of the story, but it was also a part of his understanding that emotions is okay, like I said, but he has money to work with, right? And for him, maybe it also could be that money could buy emotions. Maybe he had even thought about that, that if I have money, I'll get a lot of people, right? Who will come to me for my money. It also could be that. And that's a pride and ego. That was his own stuff, where he thought that money can buy peace, money can buy happiness, money can buy love, money can buy compassion, money can buy forgiveness. But today he is coming to the point of realizing money cannot buy anything except material prosperity. That's it, right? Money is important, guys, but as long as there is a balance between the spiritual harvest and the material prosperity, that's when you're successful in life. If there is a disbalance between the two, you cannot find happiness. You will make a lot of money, but you will die very poor in your heart because you don't have anybody with you to share yourself with. It's very important, right? And that's why we are social animals. We cannot live alone. We cannot confine ourselves. During the COVID times, all of us have seen how difficult it has been for each one of us to have confined ourselves and not interact or go to people's home or allow our friends to come in or have fun, get together, anything that allows that social activity or that social fun or that social part of the strength has gone missing because of COVID. And we have all seen that happen, right? So we know how important it is to find somebody who really is concerned about you, who really loves you unconditionally, who really wants to take care of you and wants to make you happy. And that is exactly what he is understanding. Your receptivity, your authenticity towards this relationship had been flawless. While he had been stopping this relationship because he was scared of XYZ circumstances or situations or conditions in his life, right? Now, in the mind, guys, he's got the hermit energy here. Look, right away, that's a dupe. Where there is a lot of solitude in him, lot of soul searching, lot of organization part of the story, where he's taking his time to understand this judgment card of reawakening, rebirth. It's a complete rebirth he's going through in the mind at this point in time because of the Six of Swords, which is allowing him to remove the garbage from his mind and clear his mind from whatever he had accumulated over a period in time or a long period in time. Okay, and this is a complete rebirth and reawakening in the mind that either he has to move or he has to clear himself completely and not hold any grudges or any kind of bad thoughts in his mind towards people in general, towards others, and towards this beautiful love story, which is again the strength card, where his personal power is coming into effect. When he's realizing that he has a lot of infinite strength in the mind to make this happen. A lot of personal power, a lot of assertive force, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of compassion, a lot of humility to allow this garbage to be cleared from his mind. It's a complete rebirth that's going on in his mind, which is allowing this free will and the leap of faith to happen. Wow. Lot of solitude in the mind, lot of meditation, lot of time for himself. He's giving his mind lot of space, guys. Lot of space for this miracle to happen. He's not um, clogging his mind anymore. Let's look at the hermit energy here. He's not clogging his mind anymore. His spiritual strength is coming into effect. There is a lot of spiritual strength in his mind that he is moving into. Let's look at the hermit energy. Lot of spiritual strength, guys. Lot of spiritual strength in the mind is showing up here. That's allowing his mind to completely blossom and open up. The King of Wands, the Knight of Wheels, and the Fool. Yeah, this is the Fool. It's a dupe again. The Hermit, yeah, this is a new leap of faith. This is taking on the role of the leader, okay, to move forward towards the leap of faith. He's doing it a little bit slowly because he's reorganizing himself, but he is extremely passionate, motivational, inspiring. As the King of Wands, he has seen the bigger picture of his life here in the mind, where he wants to start this journey totally fresh with you, Divine Feminine. He's being very motivational, very, very inspired to take on this role of the leader, right? But he's taking a little bit slow as well because he's got a lot of things that he is kind of looking into at this point in time with the chariot energy, right? Because, like I said, he was probably waiting for you to take that leap of faith. Okay, there could have been a pull and push towards you taking that leap of faith with him first, then he doing it. Maybe that was the reason why he has been taking his time towards this new beginning. Or if not, he is also doing a very calculative and methodical approach towards his finances, towards his story, towards whatever problems that he might have in his own life, before he eventually jumps into and takes that fresh start of the journey with you once again. Let's look at the Judgment card in here. But it's a definite call from the universe with his mind. After a long time, I'm doing this 3 layers here, right? So I get to see this entire story here. Let's look at the Judgment card here. It's a complete rebirth of his own mindset, of whatever he had been earlier thinking. Like I said, he had paid more attention to different details in his life. He had not bothered to think about you as much as he was thinking about his money or his pride or his ego. I'm not trying to be critical of him, but what I'm trying to say is that his focus had been in a different area altogether, which is where he is working slowly but very calculatively throughout the day as he is moving along his daily chores to plan out his actions in the right way towards this new beginning, right? With the Judgment, he gets the Ace of Wands and the Strength. Look, A complete inspired new spark, new beginning of the story with a lot of compassion, humiliation, passion, but not aggression. Not aggression, right? Lot of forgiveness in the judgment, where he's allowing himself to forgive other people or to forgive those or even himself for having done things wrong earlier on. The King of Sod. Yeah, lot of discerning thoughts in here, guys. Lot of rational approach, logical approach in the mind towards the story. Let's look at the Six of Sod. Because the Ace of Wand is, with the strength, is giving him back a lot of spiritual strength, guys. Lot of spiritual strength. With the Six of Swords, he's got the Nine of Wand and the Star, see? He's not going to hold back anymore of whatever he had been holding back. His fear, his strength that had gone down the drain, where he was feeling tired, exhausted. He's allowing that energy to move away, and be progressive about his thinking, where he's allowing his energy to flow in the direction of his own destiny. Miracles, wishes coming true, right? Wishes coming true, allowing that progressive dialogue to happen between you and him, where he had earlier been holding back a lot of story from you, where he was scared to have said the truth to you, maybe. For some of you, I'm even getting that, right? Where he had been holding back because he was allowed to speak out his mind. He was not allowed to speak his own mind. He was not being able to talk to you in the right way because he had been very guarded about a lot of things that he was not happy about in his own life too. Right? So this is where the Six of Swords energy is coming in. He's got the Six of Swords in the mind and in the 3D as well. See, the Five of Wands. Exactly. This is where the fight had been. He had not been allowing this energy. He had not been, like I said, the free will had not been there. He had been blocking this compassionate forgiveness in himself. He had been blocking all this energy because he was scared that if he speaks the truth, he will have to say a lot of things, and he wasn't ready at that point in time because his strength had not come in then. Let's look at that strength card. He's got the strength dupe. It's a dupe here too in the mind. Lot of spiritual strength in his mind is coming up on the surface, guys. Okay, let's look at that strength card here. Yeah, with the Nine of Wands, he had been blocking everything from you. And that's where the Six of Swords is coming in, as it's clearing his mental part of the story for him to understand that he can have his dialogues, a progressive dialogue with you now, Divine Feminine, with regards to this new beginning. With that strength, he gets the Wheel of Fortune. This is the turning point. This is where there is going to be a sudden movement, and it's going to be a movement that will bring back his spiritual strength for this free will to happen. As soon as he can find himself, in the mind where he finds himself, see the Four of Cups, because he had been going through a lot of depression, guys. Lot of regret, lot of bad feelings, apathy of feelings, emotions, from where he is slowly resurfacing as the person he should be. So it's taking him a minute, right? It's taking him in a minute, but he has progressed quite a lot. I would say that. He has progressed quite a lot in order for him to realize, or you to realize, Divine Feminine, that he's no longer sitting in the place that he was sitting in, because this has been a wake up call in his life where he suddenly woke up one day and found that he had done a lot of mistakes and had missed a lot of opportunities in his life. That is the realization that is changing his entire mindset, guys. Let's look at the heart energy now. Okay, let's look at what the heart has to say here. Okay, hold on, guys. Maybe I should use another deck here just so that we get more clarity here. See, in the heart again, Ace of Sword. In the mind, he's got the Ace of Wand. In the heart, he's got the Ace of Sword. He wants to speak the truth now. He's got the clarity that, if he doesn't speak the truth, the Two of Wand, he's going to be blocked. And that's where the King of Sword is coming in. That's where either it is somebody who is coming in with a lot of wisdom to, tell him that you can't do that. You have to speak the truth. Or it's him who is coming into that state of lot of logical wisdom in the heart to know that now is the time for the Ace of Cups. He's got the Ace of Wand, Ace of Sword, Ace of Cups. A total new beginning in this journey has to happen with this communication, where he needs to release himself, tell the truth, nothing is hidden between the two of you to move forward. Okay, so that is the clarity the heart is getting. His heart is ready with the King of Wand, as is the mind. He's got the King of Wand here, he's got the King of Wand here. There is a lot of King of Wand energy, which is beautiful. So in the heart, he knows if he wants a justice with you, or you want this relationship to be a happy one, Divine Feminine, he has to speak the truth with you. The truth needs to be spoken out loud. Let's look at the Ace of Sword here. Lot of aces, guys. Ace of Sword. I love my spirit guide and my angels here. So see, with the Ace of Sword, guys, he's got the devil first. His restriction, right? His restriction, which is now the temperance, which is what he's compromising with. And the Ace of Sword again. Look, that he has to bring back the truth and the balance in this relationship in the heart by being the King of Wand and justice here. That heart is calling out for justice in this relationship with you, Divine Feminine. That he has to compromise with you with regards to whatever has happened before and tell you the truth to let you know whatever went on and whatever happened before, right? Because this is where he was stuck with the Two of Wands. He got stuck because he was not able to compromise with the truth here and tell you everything. So he was barred from moving. This is the barrier. This was the barrier with the Two of Wands, right? This is where he got stuck because he was like, how can I tell her the truth? If I tell her the truth, probably she will refuse to be a part of my life. See, that was the fear more so. That was the fear that if he tells you the truth, he couldn't trust that you might hear the truth. And what happens if after you hear the truth, you decide you don't want to have to do anything with him? He couldn't trust that part of the story, guys. With the Seven of Pentacles, this is where He's starting fresh without any worries because that, see, the Ace of Swords is coming here to take away his worries. Because he had the Nine of Swords, he had the Eight of Swords before, right? When he was worried more so because he was worried if he could bring back his finances, if he could really straighten out things with you, if he could really start the new harvest with you, with the Two of Wands, he got stuck. And this is where his restarting his entire journey because he has understood that he needs to come unattached with less baggage, with no emotional baggage with him at all, towards the Eight of Cups. And this is where he's letting go, the Six of Swords, Eight of Cups. This is where he's letting go of all the old baggage that, like I said, he had accumulated. He knows that if he has to come forward and speak the truth to you, he has to come in the right way. Be very honest, not with baggages. You know what I mean? The Strength again. Look, the Strength card. And this is where he needs a lot of strength, and he will get a lot of strength because his mind is becoming more stronger at this point going forward. Let's look at the King of Swords. Now, this energy of the King of Swords is somebody advising him to do what his heart is telling him to do, or it could be him becoming more wiser and understanding with regards to his actions and decisions in life that he now has to take, right? With the King of Swords. Because see, the King of Swords is again a very unemotional person when it comes to things that doesn't suit him, right? He is not emotionally available to a situation that he is not emotionally invested in. He doesn't have the time to invest in relationships that doesn't have any meaning for him. With this, he gets a Seven of Wands, which is talking about him standing up for what he believes is right and choosing his battles wisely now with you. To show how invested he is in this relationship and the Chariot card, and allowing himself to take that first step forward towards communication with you as well, Divine Feminine. Let's look at the Ace of Cups because see, this is again a complete new beginning with love, in love, right? Ace of Swords, Ace of Cup, Ace of Wand, and the Four of Pentacles. And this is where he was stuck. He was controlling this. See? He was controlling his emotions, not allowing you to see how much of love he really had for you, or not allowing that love to flow into this connection because he was more worried about his money and other material investments in his life that was holding him back from this beautiful emotional journey in love. Okay, and the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords. And this is where this communication will happen from the heart now with you, Divine Feminine. With you. Because again, with you, he was a little bit skeptical because he knew that if he came to you in that same similar way, you would not accept him. So he has to tell you the truth. He has to come unattached. He has to come without baggages in his life that he had been having before, guys. He can't have that anymore. Because if he comes back to you with those baggages, you will not even hear him. You will cut him off. So he has to come to you for the compromise, right? That he has realized that he needs to compromise with you on whatever has gone wrong before, but by speaking the truth. Otherwise, there is no compromise that's going to happen with you. So he has to stand up and fight for his justice or for what he believes is right with you. Yeah, he had been blocking, he had been controlling this love because, like I said, he had been also reflecting that before he finally made that offer to you, right? He had also been reflecting on this commitment, like I said, whether he can trust you or you can trust him, or whether this relationship is worth all the trouble and hassles as a part of the story too, because for him it is a big deal. It's a big deal, right? So he had to be, but what he did was wrong. I'm not saying what he did was right, but at the same time, guys, he did that because he was, like I said, he wasn't sure. His mind wasn't ready. His heart wasn't open, but he was reflecting. Now he wants not only to open the barrier, but he wants to purge and tell you the entire truth to allow this journey to be revived. Now, with the 3D energy, guys, the first card out is the World card here, which is talking about a completion of this journey. And the Seven of Wand, see the Seven of Wand here, it's a dupe where he's going to stand up and fight for what he believes is right to complete the last part of the story here. The Knight of Wand and the Seven of Cups, because this is where he got caught. This is where, sorry, excuse me, he was passionately, emotionally confused what he should do, right? There was a lot of confusion in the 3D because he had too many options he was playing with too. And that's all coming to an end. That's all coming to an end because, like I said, there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of fear that he has to abandon, and he knows he has to leave a lot of things in order to come to you, right? And that means he has to sacrifice a lot of things he has been familiar with or people he has been comfortable with. I wouldn't say comfortable, but he has known them, right? And it also could be a possibility that you might not like some of his people, whoever it is, XYZ. So if he has to come to you, he has to depart from that group, or you're not going to accept them, accept those people in your life, right? So it could be any kind of fear, or it, like I said, if he has a karmic situation, kids, anything that was, where he was scared to make that move because there was a lot of confusion and a lot of options that he was trying to figure out what is the best possible way until the time has come where he has found that the best possible way is to close the last chapter and move towards the second part of the story with you, Divine Feminine. That confusion is clearing away with the Six of Swords and the World card. Let's look at the World, because this has been a complete learning lesson of his life here, right? Where he has gone through all the major arcanas in his life. The Three of Wands. See, this is a new beginning. This is a new envision. This is a new vision in life. This is, he's waiting for the time to make that move, but he's getting prepared. He's ready. He's lifting his obstructions and obstacles that had been blocking him from moving forward with the Hermit energy at the bottom, again in the 3D as well. Yeah. The Seven of Wands is talking about, again, dupe. Believing what he knows is right. Eight of Pentacles. See? He's restarting something in his life and he's working for that. It could be a new job, a new skill, new hobby, new anything. But with a lot of focus, dedication towards a new part of the story in the 3D, guys. He's putting in a lot of effort with the Eight of Pentacles, where he is starting off something totally new, which he was not earlier of. It also could be, guys, it also could be that he's looking into his finances. He's restarting his finances for himself. With the World card, he has ended up something here, or he's going to end up something to plan for the next future movement, right? And with the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands, he's definitely giving it a lot of diligence here, with a lot of discipline, lot of knowledge, perseverance, very dedicated to the job because he believes this is what he has to fight for in his life, right? A lot of painstaking attention to details in here as well. A lot of widening of knowledge and power within himself, guys. Because, see, this is where the situation has been for him. And what I'm getting more is with regards to his finances. Because with the Three of Wands, guys, he's seeking a new adventure. With the World card, because he's completing a major part of his life to move into a new phase. Okay? So, having an open perspective or starting on a new journey here. Using his knowledge as his power here with the Eight of Pentacles, of what he can do with regards to the movement forward in here for himself. More so with regards to the finances, with the Seven of Swords as well. You know, where there has been, okay, where earlier he had refused to take responsibility of this twin flame connection. Yeah, because like I said, he was not open. So he's close to one part of his life and is starting a new adventure here, where now he wants to take responsibility for his own actions and be accountable with regards to his own decision, with emotions, money, finance, anything in his life that involves a 3D connection of you and him in the material world, guys. Right? And putting his feet on the ground and saying no if he has to say no to something, and fighting for what he believes is absolutely right in his case. Let's look at the Knight of Wands. Because this is where his passion got stuck in the 3D before, is also what I'm getting, because he realized that he had made a mistake earlier by rushing forward in the wrong way, is also what I'm getting. So he was being very closed about his situation with you, where he didn't want to rush forward anymore and was taking his time to decide how he would move forward with the Nine of Wands. Yeah, and this is where he was too tired, guys, with the King of Wands, right? He was very tired fighting this waiting game with you in the 3D. Yeah, he was very tired. He was trying to be very strong, but because he was looking at different options, he was confused. He didn't want to repeat that same mistake again, right? Everything was working around with him. Let's look at the Seven of Cups. Because of the Seven of Swords, where there was a betrayal, lies, deceit in this connection before. So he was being very careful with regards to his movement with you. Right? And he was hiding a lot of things too. He was guarding himself. With the Seven of Cups, he gets the Emperor and the Five of Swords. He has accepted his own limitations now as the Emperor. And that's what I just said, right? Let me go back here. The Emperor and the Temperance card. Remember I said in the first that he had a lot of limitations which he today recognizes, and accepts it because it's all been fulfilled. It's all been fulfilled. He knows his own limitations, and even if he is the emperor, he cannot do everything without you. Without you. Without you, his heart is closed. Without you, there is no forgiveness, no compassion, no love, nothing. Right? And this was taking him a long time because it was difficult for him to accept his own limitation. It was difficult for him. You know, the defeat of the Five of Swords. To come forward and tell you the truth that he has been defeated. Six of Cups, Page of Cups, the King of Swords, the Eight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and Justice. Yeah. Justice is going to be served once again in this connection, guys. With communication in here from a very difficult area where he hadn't been able to expand himself towards this connection. Like I said, he was halting this connection because he was scared, he was tired, because he was in fear. He was not able to accept his own limitations in life that was making him tired of waiting for things to move in the 3D, which is where things are moving with the Six of Swords, because he is moving and lifting his own restrictions in life to work for what he believes is right for this connection now. Yeah, see, this is where it took him a long time, guys. He could not accept his own defeat in life, which is what today, being the emperor or the divine masculine, right? He has learned to accept his own limitations. That he is a human being. He doesn't have the power to do everything. No. Even if he has money, he still doesn't have the power to bring material happiness or spiritual growth into his life without you, Divine Feminine. So he has learned to accept his own limitations, guys. The bottom of this deck is the Queen of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you are the only person, guys, who can really make him smile. Okay, you can really make him be a kid once again. And this is what he is looking forward to. And moving into this relationship of this past life connection with you, guys. He's taking a little bit of a time because, certain things has to be corrected. That's why the Hangman energy is here with the Queen of Swords. Yeah, see? The Queen of Swords and the Two of Cups. Yeah, he wants to talk with you, guys. He wants to communicate with you about this beautiful love connection, but he's just taking a little bit of time because there has been so many delays and mistakes in here because you're the only person who can bring back this connection back into life, Divine Feminine. You are the only person who can make him smile, make him laugh, be a kid again, do anything that is for him very important now at this point in time. And that is where he's getting his enlightenment, how he should move towards you. In what approach does he take towards you with regards to telling you the whole story and telling you the whole truth here, guys. Okay, so this is the entire part of the picture right now that's going on. And we'll do another update in here and we'll go forward from here and see what his energies are. Till then, enjoy this reading, guys. Be happy, keep smiling, take care, and see you once again.